right? If you do not understand this, type in no. Right. Okay. So in that scenario, we have this running program called Python, and we have our actual program called program.py. So Python is actually executing this particular, yes, Parvez, sort of like a function call with the parameter is program.py, where you're asking Python to run this particular source code of yours. Does that make sense? Exactly. But when we are running C++ executable programs, we do not say C++ space project6.exe. We just type in project6.exe. Do you see that difference there, Parvez? We are not saying C++ whatever, right? We are just directly executing this particular program, because C++ generates an executable file that can be executed directly on your computer without any requirement where for Python space program.py or whatever, or for MATLAB, so let's say program.m, we do not. So for these cases, we need this separate program, MATLAB or Python. Even for Java, right? For Java, we need a separate program called Java that can execute your particular program, PROG, right? So these are called interpreted languages. So interpreted languages have a lot of benefits because they can sort of handle, you guys are all graduate students. Do you understand what garbage collection is? Type in yes or no. Tell me if you know what automated garbage collection is and what whether C++ has automated garbage collection. I have one no. Java has that. Yes, Taha, you are right. Java has that. So a mixture of yes and no's. Okay, so I'll come back to this programming course in a second, but let me just talk to you about garbage collection. Let's say that we have, exactly, Eric, you are correct. So let's say we have some function, and I'm going to type it out in C++. Everyone should know what how C++ works. So let's say we have a pointer called P1, and I'm assigning some particular integer array of size 42 to this address P1. So does everyone understand what this piece of code does? And I want all of you to answer. Can you also type in what this piece of code does so that I can understand that you understand? What is, okay, so let's reduce the size to make it into int4, right? So what is the size of the memory? Exactly, Vamsi, you are correct. So what is the total size of the memory for P1? If integers are 4 bytes, and I have an array of size 4, that means that I have 16 bytes of memory pointed by P1. Right? Everyone agrees this thing? Perfect. So when this program runs and it is calling this function void func, now tell me one thing. Is this memory is being assigned to a particular location, right? It is either in the stack or it is being allocated in the heap memory. Which memory location is it being allocated to, stack or heap? And this is an undergraduate question, and I want you guys to answer this correctly. I am disappointed, Brian Akins, but I want others to answer as well. That is a very nice guess. What are the answers for you guys? Is it stack or heap? Or do you have no idea what either stack or heap is? You can type in either, I don't care. Type in I don't know, I don't care. It's not a graded exam, type in whatever. So all of you, basically I have 3 answers and I have 4 answers. I have 5 answers. One is correct, 1.5 is correct, and all of you have forgot. So remember one thing, whenever we are declaring something with the help of new, exactly, whenever we declare something with the help of new, this particular memory is always going to be assigned to the heap memory. Now, what is the property of the heap memory? So let's have a program, a complete program, int main, and let's do one thing. Let's return an integer pointer from this function, and I'm going to call this function int star a equals to func. Where func basically returns this pointer p1. Now, you know what, I need to explain stacks to you guys first, because I think that you guys forgot about that too. Let's give me a moment. Star, let's have an array int arr of 4, initialize 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? And I say I have an array int arr4 that has initialized the values of 0, 1, 2, 3. At any point in time during the code, if you do not understand, type in the chat or just let me know. Now, what I say is int star p1 equals to arr. And then I return p1, where p1 is an integer pointer. I return this, and inside main, I basically call this function, and whatever it returns, I return it to the value a. Now, a basically is an address that points to these particular values. But will this program work if I try to print out the values, let's say int I equals 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, and let's say that I just want to print out the values of I. Will this program work? Yes or no? Yes, so Brian, you are correct that the pointer only points to the beginning of that array, but I can access all the elements of my array using a of I. So this is a legitimate syntax where I can access a pointer as an array using AI, where it would access the first element, a of 0, second element, third element, and so on. So will this code work? I want answers yes or no. I would be disappointed if you answer no, because this is an undergraduate question. Heck, this is a undergraduate exam question, to be honest. But again, type in yes or no, I don't care. I mean, I just want to know if you know or not. That is the thing I'm going to come back to in a long about way about the last question that we had. Will this code give you 0, 1, 2, 3? Yes or no? I have 3 yeses. Any other answers? Okay, so the actual answer is no. And the reason I'm doing this, I also want to discuss to you about recursion and tail recursion. So I will get into more detail about this thing in this class. So we have this particular array declaration. We have int arr4 0, 1, 2, 3. Is this a local variable, or is this variable accessible across your program? Type in local or exactly, Brian, that is the thing, right? This is, everyone agrees that this is a local variable, right? So we have this array, and let's say that the address for this local variable is, I don't know, A, B, C, D, right? Some address, doesn't really matter what address. This is a local variable where locally we are assigning these particular values 0, 1, 2, 3, starting from the address ABCD, right? And now when I say int star P1 equals to ARR, P1 basically becomes ABCD, right? And now I'm returning the value of P1. So I'm essentially returning the address ABCD to this from this particular function. So when I return this, A basically becomes ABCD. But let's say that we had another variable int x equals to 99. Is x accessible in main? Type in yes or no. Can I access something that is x from this main variable, main function here? No, right? Why? Because x is a local variable to this function. Similarly, when I return this particular address ABCD, A points to ABCD, but ABCD itself is an address to a local variable, right? This local variable is defined in the stack. And since it is defined in the stack, once we return from this function, yes, ABCD is a legitimate address, but all of these values are removed from the stack. Does that make sense? Because I'm going to explain it a bit more. So I have this, and shame on you guys because this is an undergrad set of slides, but anyhow. So let's say that we have this, and don't worry about it, it's fine. Let's say that we have this particular function, void main, we have these three variables, M1, M2, and M3, all declared to 10, 20, and M. This calls a function A. That function again declares three variables, A1, A2, A3, 100, 200A, doesn't really matter, and then calls a function B that has these three variables, B1, B2, and B3, and then it does not call any other function, it just prints out those values, returns back, prints out these three values, returns back, prints out these three values, and then finally it's done. So what goes on? So these local variables are stored in something called a stack or a stack memory. So whenever we have these local variables, M1, M2, M3, these variables are stored in stack. So M1 is 10, M2 is 20, M3 is M. And then when we call function A, we are basically, whenever we are calling function A, we are storing all of those variables into a data structure called a stack. Now, I'm going to ask you one thing. Is stack last in, first out, or first in, first out? LIFO or FIFO? Type in the answer, please. That would give me an answer as to if you know or not. Perfect. So you do know what stack is. So internally, it basically stores these variables in the stack and then calls the function, right? And when we have this function A, all of these local variables are again going to be stored in the stack, and then function B is called with the return address function of function A. And then function B is called, all the local variables for function B are stored in the stack, and then whatever cout statements are being executed. But when we return from this particular function, all of the members for this stack for function B, right, these three variables